Well, hello friends. Hope you're doing great. Hey, this is Sat. I wanted to take a moment to record a voice message for you that could shed some light on the path of your journey in buying and selling your property. One of the things we are noticing as a company, as professionals, when clients come to us, most of them have had some previous real estate experiences. If they themselves haven't had any experience, maybe somebody they know have been gone through a real estate experience, whether it was a friend, a parent, a sibling, somebody in their known network has done real estate before. And that particular person, in many cases, have had good experience, but also in some cases, they have not had as good of an experience. As a matter of fact, few of them have had very stressful experiences, which naturally breeds a little bit of a fear, a little bit of a doubt into the minds of our clients, just thinking what happens if they have to go through any of that. Now, I just want to express this to you with a very candid, open heart, that we fully understand what you are going through right now. As a client, as a buyer or a seller, I can only imagine how much must be going through in your head at this point in time. If you are buying something, obviously it's one of the most expensive purchases. There's lots of money needing to be arranged. There are lots of talks about mortgages, the upcoming expenses, all the closing costs, the taxes, the interest rates. There is a ton of talk around all these subjects. And because you're not from the field, it's all new to you, or some of it is very new to you, and therefore half of it is not making any sense. Now let me reassure you, there is so much information and so many things to look at out there. It even makes a professional's head spins at times. At times I wonder what I'm doing wrong or what do I not know about the deals. And that's an honest, open truth, because there is so much information that's going on. Now, I have developed some systems and some kind of technicalities to deal with when I get there, but that's because I'm a professional and I've learned how to deal with that properly, because a lot of my clients are trusting their hard-earned dollar, their most valuable assets of their life, which is their properties, with us. So I have no choice but to learn, but you as a client may not have learned it yet. So it's very natural, very common for you to go through that. Now, on top of that, not only you're going through that factor of unknown, there is always a little bit of doubt in your mind. Doubt meaning you continually kind of start to think, am I making the right decision here? Is this the right move? Should I be doing this? Is this my time? Right? You know that you want to do that, but at the same time, you constantly questioning yourself too a little bit, right? And then there is this whole, please God, let this be for real feel, if you know what I mean, meaning you have pulled the trigger, you've started on the journey, you've started on the path, you have certain hopes, certain dreams, certain goals to accomplish through this whole transaction, and you're really hoping this all comes true for you, and you're not setting yourself up for a disappointment. You're really hoping that what you're trying to accomplish kind of comes through for you, right? On top of that, you're not really fully can see the entire process because of the unknown factors of the process. Things like, who's going to offer me what on my house? When I'm going to find my next property? What kind of deal I'm going to be able to make? What is my interest rates going to be? On and on and on. These all unknown variables which are not in your control in any way, shape or form. They're important for your transaction, but you kind of just don't know them. and that creates a bit of an uncertainty in the deal, right? To some point where it even gets a little stressful. Now, is that abnormal to go through all of that? But let me reassure you, it's definitely not abnormal. It's very normal. Any human being going through all that change and sort of like upside down of life for 2-3 months, the uncertainty of not knowing how things are going to settle, how leaves going to fall, it's very normal to have that little stress. But there is a way to deal with it. And I wanted to communicate that with you so that your journey remains one of those happy, enjoyable, calm, peaceful, in control, rather than becoming a stressful one. So my team and myself, we like to make sure that we are taking care of our clients in the best possible manner. And communicating with them upfront about the phases that they're going to walk through is one of those things that kind of brings lots of good results. So this little conversation is sort of like a step in that direction to share with you what to expect. Now, whether you're buying just a property and getting and moving into that place, or you're buying and selling, or maybe you're buying and selling and you're having to deal with mortgages on both ends, and maybe you're buying and selling, dealing with mortgages, and you have to worry about perhaps any upgrades or renovations from the house you're leaving or from the house you need to go to. On top of that, maybe some legal advice need to happen, maybe some accounting, tax advice need to happen. All that is in the mix. And we as a company have developed our entire business model to cater that specific need. Now, there are families and people out there who feel very competent at all of this stuff. They probably have lots of time on hand. They really don't need anybody's help. They can go out and figure out all that information themselves. And there are a fair amount of people out there that way. However, we figure that most families are like my family, like us, like my wife and I. As competent as we are in terms of going and getting the knowledge from the market, let's face it, we have full-time careers, we have kids, we have life. Half of the stuff we don't know, half of the stuff we are unsure about. So as competent as we can be in terms of our abilities to go and get the information, we just feel it would be nice if somebody we know and somebody who's trustworthy can come alongside and give us a little bit of a helping hand, so that we can be sure that we are not making a mistake, we are not stepping on the right, we are not stepping on any red tape, we are not doing anything that would hurt us, but rather we are capitalizing on all the opportunities that can be available to us through this whole transaction, right? So we set up our company to answer that call from our clients. So that's why we have a mortgage division. That's why we have a home improvement division. That's why we have network connections with people in law firms, people in accounting, and all plethora of professionals that you may need help from. Now, I want to make it very clear, I do not do it all. Sometimes the tendency for the clients is to think that because SAT's taking my call, SAT does it all. No, SAT does not do it all. Thank you for that trust and confidence, but I'm not that good. What I'm awesome at buying and selling properties. I'm absolutely phenomenal. I hone my skills on it day in, day out. If you have seen me negotiating on your behalf previously, I'm sure you can testify to that. And I'm like a dog on a bone when it comes to making a deal, finding the right property. I go all out to make sure that my clients win in the negotiations and profitability. I'm great at buying and selling properties. But I have a whole team of people who are absolutely just as amazing at mortgages. Then I have a team of people who are just as amazing at doing upgrades and renovations. So what we do when our clients need to go through all those sessions, I kind of get these teams involved and I get them to work for my clients. Now, my clients benefit in that helping them usually is that professionals are tried, tested. They don't have to go out and wonder anymore. They have my backing on it. And plus, because I'm referring my clients to these professionals, I can often make a call and oversee the entire process. It brings lots of stability and security to the deal, and it gets the job done in a good professional manner. Sometimes there are situations where my clients will need to directly deal with a professional, like as in if you are needing some advice about accounting. There is some privacy involved in that, and I want you to probably deal directly with the professional beyond an introduction. And sometimes there are things that I can just ask somebody for my client and take that task off my client's plate. So I do when that needed to be done. I'm happy to do that as well. So we move through with the process with making sure that we are keeping your privacy intact, that we are providing you the best possible value for your money, and that we are bringing the best possible associates from all fields to work on your file. And here's the best part about it. Because I kind of organize it all, I have a little bit of a say in this to make my client's file a priority file. In other words, when your file is on that mortgage table, it is not one of the 40 files on that table. It is the only file that gets the priority, and the other 39 have to wait until this one is done. So it's kind of neat to have that bit of a control for my clients, and I like that control for my clients to have. So that kind of makes sure that all things that need to move along are moving on time, deadlines are met properly, and everything is being done the way it is need to be done, right? Now, you as a client on your hand have some responsibilities as well. 90-95% of your work we're going to do. We're going to take care of it for you. But there is 5% that you also have to be responsible for. And that 5% is communication. There are 3 things that make a deal go really smoothly. That's communication, communication, and communication. And there are 3 things and that could really default any file and really sour any interaction or transaction, and that is lack of communication, lack of communication, and lack of communication. I cannot emphasize enough how important communication is. So we try to do everything in our power to properly, efficiently, openly, upfront, have proper communication done for you and with you every step of the way. But you as a client are also equally as responsible to communicating anything that's on your end that need to be communicated to us. Usually we ask our clients to be prompt and efficient on replying to messages and emails. And if you have sent us an email, it probably wouldn't hurt to send a text as well, kind of saying, hey, I sent this email to you, check it out, etc., etc. Now, one of the very polite things most of our clients do is they sometimes do not ask the question that they need to ask, being polite about it. Whether those questions are in form of doubts, or sometimes it's like a little late in the day. And they feel like, well, I don't need to bug Zach now. It's 9:30. He's probably with his family. I'll ask him that question tomorrow. I appreciate that thought. But then, after thinking that noble thought for me, they are sitting at their home with their family and they're at unrest about this. They're tossing and turning because they need that answer. And sometimes a thought gets into their head, which is totally irrelevant and totally wrong idea that they just kind of drawn into their thoughts. But because they've been thinking about it all night, they've been worried about it all night and they couldn't sleep well that night because there is a lot riding at that transaction from both ends. It's a very expensive deal they're doing. So it's hard for them to rest. So you know what? I'd encourage you to please, you have my permission. If there is a thought arising in your head that a question that needs an answer, a doubt that needs cleared, something that you're unsure about, something that you're not fully clear about, please raise your hand, ask that question. Call me, even if it is late, call me. And if I'm busy with my family, I probably won't pick up the phone in that very moment, but I'll call you back shortly. But it'll be better than you having to toss and turn all night or being at unrest while you're trying to put out a shift at your work, right? We don't want that. We'd rather be me being inconvenient for a minute or two or three to answer your question than you having to spend the whole night thinking about it, if that makes sense. So, I want to make sure that you understand this. This is a very important piece to us. Third thing is understanding your relationship with stress throughout this deal. Okay? Because of how much is on the stake going through this transaction, having some stress, some anxiety, some uncertainty is very normal as you go through this phase. What is not normal is not dealing with that. You cannot avoid the stress in real estate and mortgage deals, but you can certainly avoid it getting a hold of you and stealing your peace of mind. That's not normal. And if you did what I just described before, that whenever you have little stress coming up in your way, you pick up the phone right then and there, recognize it, and pick up the phone right then and there, and let's talk this through. And what you're going to find is there is nothing to be stressed about. It already is thought through. Now, we have been through these roads multiple times. We've done this many times. We have teams of experts who help us do this. So you're in total safe hands. Like, you can fully, confidently relax. While we want to help you make the best possible deal, one of our roles is to save you from making a mistake. If you are stepping onto the lines where we think you probably going to make a mistake, we're going to warn you about it. And one of the things that you can literally take to bank from us is never ever from us you'd ever be under any pressure to make any decisions that you are not sure about. We want to make sure that you're getting the time you need to make those decisions right. And if you need some coaching and guidance and some help along the way to give you some advice on that, yes, we are there for you to give you, gonna give you the pros and cons of all situations and then let you make your decision, okay? We want to make sure that this is a great deal for you. This is a profitable deal for you. We also want to make sure this is a profitable transaction for us as a company, as a business. But there is one more thing we are looking out of it beyond those profits and deals and properties. One thing that we want to walk away from it is a lifelong friendship. We want to make sure that beyond this deal, there is a great relationship with people we serve. And that relationship is there to be for the lifetime. We want to make sure that you can proudly talk about us to your friends and family, that you can proudly represent us in the market when another conversation comes up about somebody else looking at real estate or mortgages. And more importantly, we want to make sure that you can confidently make us your number one choice when you need another deal done in your life about real estate and mortgages. With that, I wanted to take a moment to thank you again for your business, for your support, for your trust. It's immensely valued. I know for a fact that there are thousands of realtors and mortgage brokers out there. There is no shortage of them. Just Google them and you will find a whole plethora. So the fact that you chose us out of all that big crowd of people means a lot to us. And we want to make sure that not only we are living up to those expectations, but we are actually exceeding those expectations. So let's go. It's going to be an exciting journey. We're going to keep it stress-free. We're going to keep good on our communication from both ends. And we're going to make this happen in a really great way. That you're going to sit back after this is all done and you're going to go, yeah, Sad, it went exactly the way you described in that early on podcast. You'd be talking about this particular message. And that's one of the greatest feelings, to hear from our clients that we were able to enlighten their path and we were able to eliminate that stress, at least reduce it, if not fully eliminate it. And that we were able to put their minds at peace while they're going through this journey with us. One step at a time, we can make this happen. And just focus on that next step and you'll be there in no time. Take care. Bye for now.